At the retirement party, he said, "You'll never be an executive here." I didn't argue. I just smiled and raised my glass, because that morning, the paperwork was already signed. My uncle ran the family construction business for 23 years, started by my grandfather in 1987. I'd been there since I was 16, doing everything from cleanup to project management by the time I was 25. But my uncle always made it clear, blood doesn't mean promotion. You're not entitled to anything just because you share a last name, he'd say during company meetings, like I was asking for handouts instead of working 60-hour weeks. He hired his college buddy as CFO, gave him $140K salary plus bonuses. His neighbor's kid got operations manager at 26 with zero construction experience. I stayed site supervisor at 62K. When I suggested we bid on a municipal contract, my uncle shot it down, said I didn't understand the politics. 3 months later, his buddy pitched the exact same project. My uncle called it brilliant. I stopped suggesting things after that. At his retirement dinner, held at some country club I'd never been invited to, there were about 80 people. Executives, city contractors, suppliers. I wore the same suit I'd worn to my grandfather's funeral because it was the only one I owned. My uncle was 3 drinks in when he stood up with his scotch. He scanned the room and his eyes landed on me in the back. "You know, I've been thinking about legacy," he said loudly. People got quiet. "Some people are built for the field. Hands-on guys. Real workers." He pointed at me. "That's my nephew. Hell of a site supervisor. But you'll never be an executive here, kid. Not everyone's cut out for leadership." The room laughed. Not mean laughter. Just comfortable agreement. Like everyone had already decided who belonged where. I raised my glass back, smiled, nodded like I agreed. Because what my uncle didn't know, what nobody in that room knew, was that my grandfather left me 51% of the company in a trust that activated when I turned 30. That morning, I'd turned 30. My lawyer called at 6:47 a.m. I was still in bed. "Trust is active," she said. "You're majority owner as of today. What do you want to do?" I got dressed, made coffee. Then I sat at my kitchen table and reviewed documents my uncle thought I'd never see. 3 hours of financial records, contracts, payroll, board meeting minutes, the CFO buddy billing $23,000 in personal expenses over 2 years, claiming them as client entertainment. My uncle approved everyone. The neighbor's kid in operations, approving subcontracts to his own LLC, marked up 30%. My uncle signed off. There were also records of bids we lost because my uncle underbid projects to undercut competitors, then ate the losses, all while telling employees we couldn't afford raises. I took screenshots of everything. That night, while my uncle gave his speech about building something that would outlast him, I texted my lawyer one word, "Monday." She replied, "Board meeting scheduled, 9 a.m. You're required to attend as majority shareholder." I didn't tell anyone. I just finished my drink and left early. The following Monday, the board met in the conference room I'd only seen through glass. New majority shareholder present. I walked in at 8:55 a.m. My uncle was already there with his CFO buddy and the operations guy. They looked confused when I sat down. "Why is he here?" the CFO asked. My uncle shrugged. Probably got the invite by mistake. At 9 a.m., my lawyer arrived. She sat next to me and placed a folder on the table. "Gentlemen," she said, "as of last Thursday, the trust established by the company's founder transferred controlling interest to his grandson. We're here to discuss governance." My uncle's face went from confused to pale in about 3 seconds. "What trust?" he said. I slid him the documents. "Grandfather's will. Activated on my 30th birthday." That was Thursday. He stared at the paperwork like it was in another language. "This doesn't mean anything," he said finally. "I've been running this company for over 2 decades. You have," I said calmly. "And now the majority shareholder would like to review some financial decisions." I placed the expense reports in front of him, then the subcontract records, then the payroll comparisons showing executives making double what site managers made. The CFO tried to explain. The operations guy said it was standard practice. My uncle just looked at me. "You don't know what you're doing." "Maybe not," I said, "but I know what you did." The board voted that afternoon. The CFO was terminated for cause. The operations guy resigned before they could fire him. My uncle kept his pension, kept his retirement party photos, but his buddy system dissolved. He called me that Friday night. I was at the office, going through contracts. "This isn't how family works," he said. His voice sounded smaller than I'd ever heard it. I leaned back in the chair, his old chair. "You're right," I said. "Family doesn't laugh when someone's built for more than you decided they deserve." Then I hung up. The company's still running. "We landed that municipal contract I suggested 3 years ago. It's our biggest project yet. And my old site supervisor position, I promoted the guy who trained me when I was 16. He's making $140K right now."